Sad backyard, anyone? Ew. For the next 2 weeks, I've set up shop in this backyard to help my sidekick extraordinaire, Vanessa.
That's me.
Turn her not so cute backyard into a cozy boho-inspired lounge that she actually wants to hang out in. Is this right now? So if you're looking for some backyard DIY inspiration, then stick around because this video is for you. Let's get into it. Editor, roll the tape. Boop. This video is sponsored by Milanote. Okay friends, so we are doing a backyard renter-friendly makeover. Well, to that I say yeehaw. I love a good outdoor transformation. I mean, it's just a great excuse to get a little vitamin D on the old skin because your girl is pastier than a vampire at a sunscreen convention, if you know what I mean. So a few weeks back, Vanessa and I did a little walkthrough of her backyard space in question.
So this is it.
Wow. So let's talk about this area.
Yeah.
Ooh. Vanessa got to show me her current sitting setup, which consisted of a hand-me-down dark wicker lounge set with matching coffee table, a two-seater Adirondack chair, and a very weathered-looking rug that's kind of given retired bath mat with a traumatic past. Hey! Was that too saucy to say? I'm sorry, it's lovely. They also had a little barbecue area with an outdoor table, lots of lawn space for their doogie Fiona, and a really unique raised garden bed with a stone retaining wall. I mean, I gotta say, this space has got some serious potential, but as renters, I can understand the struggle in deciding how much to invest in a space that you love and you want to use, but not too much, because why drop dough in a space that isn't your own? It's completely valid. I think in cases like this though, you have to ask yourself, is this a space you're going to be spending the next 3 to 5 years in? Because if so, I think investing in your home, investing in your happiness, it's not wrong. Just because you rent, it doesn't mean you shouldn't be allowed to love your home.
Totally. We deserve some kudos here too.
But it does mean you might need to make choices that are just a little bit more temporary. So let's chat design. I did ask Vanessa and Josh, who most of you know who Josh is if you've been around this channel for quite some time. I asked them to send me a bunch of inspiration, you know, like photos, vibes, anything that screamed, this is us. No, not the show. We don't need that kind of drama in our lives. So let's pull up my Milanote project board here. This is what they sent me. We got a very boho design style, a fun warm palette with neutrals. We got an earthy terracotta. I see a fire pit, comfy lounge seating, soft lighting for ambiance. Very nice. I mean, I can get behind a space like this for sure. It's beautiful. So I'm sharing these photos from my project board here because I never go into any project of this caliber without making a project board first. You know, as creatives, we all need a visual space to dream big, brainstorm ideas, and actually organize the chaotic ideas in our head. So I'm very thankful that tools like Milanote exist, who are the kind sponsors of today's video. So let me show you how I used it for this project specifically. Honestly, Milanote makes it feel like you're working on a wall in a creative studio, except it's all digital and it's just way more useful. On my project board, I have an area that breaks down the ask from the client. I also have a space to address any particular pain points. I use a spreadsheet tool to add the total budget, and I break down any particular items I want to use in the project. Of course, we got our design inspo here, which includes photos that Josh and Vanessa sent me, but I also brought some other ones in using my Milanote web clipper extension tool that lets me search any website, and with one click, the photo is just brought into my board. It is truly one of the most useful things, the most genius ideas I've ever seen in my life. I can't, there's no words anymore. It's just actions. I'm like, thank you. As you can see here, I added my napkin sketch of my general design plan with dimensions, and I say napkin sketch because I don't think I used a ruler. I have a secondary board that contains pictures of the space if I need to reference them at any time. I make a to-do list to keep me on track, and Milanote makes it so easy to move things around. Just see how it all feels before committing to anything or buying anything, which is something I truly love. Plus, if you're looking for inspiration on how to best organize a board, they actually have over 100 built-in templates that are available for every type of creative project. So once I have a board in a good place, I share it with my client, this time being Josh and Vanessa. And I love it because they get to take a look, add their thoughts or suggestions. It just makes the whole process feel super collaborative and fun, and it just keeps everyone aligned with the vision from the get-go, right out of the gate. Honestly, I feel like Milanote has changed the way that I organize everything in my work life and my personal life. Like, I run my entire business through it. I just genuinely cannot say enough good things about Milanote. And one of the best features is how the desktop app syncs up with your mobile app, meaning so if you're out shopping or you're on site and you just need to pull up that inspiration photo or your shopping list, you can do that right from your mobile app. It's so brilliant. I love how intuitive it is. It's just truly chef's kiss. So if you're planning a creative project, whether that's a backyard build or makeover or a DIY build or even just mapping out your next big idea, Milanote is seriously the best place to start. You can try it completely free with no time limit using the link in my description. So thank you, Milanote, for sponsoring this video. Big heart to you. Okay, so my first step in tackling this backyard space is going to be building that floating deck, which you probably saw from my napkin sketch. Based on their wish list, I think having a platform that creates like a designated lounge area, it's gonna keep everything clean, it's gonna look great, and it's just gonna sit right on top of the grass. It's nothing permanent, so that if they ever wish to leave, they can easily just take it apart and reassemble it to a new location, or just take it apart, you know? Like, nothing is permanent, which is what really makes this renter friendly. So that's the first biggie we gotta tackle. I got my lumber list on my Milanote board, which means I got it on my phone, so let's go get our lumber, shall we? Woohoo! Well, DIY friends, it is officially the hottest day of the year. It is 35 degrees Celsius outside, and guess what? That's hot. So we're cooking, but at least we're in the AC right now. I got Vanessa with me. We are en route to Monaghan Lumber. So this is actually a lumber specialty yard that's in my area that I go to all the time. I'm a big fan of Monaghan, so we're gonna go shopping for some pressure treated wood. I don't know where that accent came from, but we're gonna go with it. It's the heat. It makes me feel like I'm Southern. Let's go to Monaghan, King of the Woods. King of the Woods. King of the Woods. That's our slogan. I realize I share so much of my DIY lifestyle with you, but I don't often share where my DIY materials come from. And when it comes down to lumber and building supplies, I always try to shop local first. And for me, that means heading to Monaghan Lumber. And I want to give them a big shout out for this project because I truly love this place. And every time I visit, I end up staying longer than I need. I'm just talkative apparently. But for my deck, I'm building it out of pressure treated wood. Why? Because it's affordable, it's rot and decay resistant, insect resistant, holds up in all kinds of weather, and it's just easy to work with. And my own personal PSA coming in hot, you can buy pressure treat from any big box hardware store, but I will always encourage you to seek out your local lumber supplier first because you're going to get a better price, you're going to get a high quality material, and 10 out of 10 times their staff know their stuff and will happily help you find the right product for the project if you're just not sure. Plus, you know what? I just like to support a business as part of my own community. Now, if anybody wants to build a similar size deck, I will put my lumber list in the description box. It's on my Milanote board, so go check it out. The list is all there for you. Great!
Awesome.
Thank you!
No worries.
Appreciate it. This is gonna be dope. Hello DIY friends, it is officially day one of backyard deck building. We got it all hands on deck. Vanessa's here, Vanessa's mom's here. How fun is that? And who is this? Who are you? Izzy. This is Lizzie? Izzy. Oh, Izzy, hi. Oh my gosh, you've got so much to say. We got my hubby here because he loves me. We got Vanessa here because she loves me. Actually, no, it's because I love you. Yeah, difference. Let's go build a deck. You're doing a great job. Love your work. Before we could even begin to start cutting wood for our deck, we had to mark out our deck corners and determine where our foundation blocks would go. Our deck wasn't going to be screwed into anything, making it a free-floating structure in the backyard. So our plan was to add something called Tuff blocks under the deck to give it a strong, stable, and portable foundation without the need to dig deep holes or pour concrete. Now these guys sit right on top of the ground, but we do need to make sure they're level, so we're just breaking up the grass line and tamping the ground in a 1x1 foot square and removing a little dirt, then adding it back to tamp down a very level space for the blocks to sit on.
I actually don't think I can't even break it.
So you might be wondering, why the Tuff blocks at all? Just stick the deck on the grass. Well, you could, but these blocks actually help distribute the weight evenly, and it supports your deck framing. It will help prevent it from sagging or shifting over time. Plus, by lifting your wood off the ground, these blocks will simply just help keep moisture away from it, so it reduces any risk of rot or mold or insect damage. Basically, if you want this deck to last, this is your answer. Plus, you can reuse these deck blocks over and over and over. They're really great for anything rental or any temporary spaces. I'm not gonna lie, this process probably took up the most time in our day, making sure it was perfectly level across all sides. It takes a lot of Hulk power to tamp those corners, let me tell you. Once we were happy with level, we finally cut our boards to size and marked where all our joists would sit, measuring each 16 on center. For any pressure-treated pieces that we cut, we had to add a special sealer to the cut ends. So the chemicals in a pressure-treated board only penetrate so deep, so when you cut a board, that inner wood isn't protected from the moisture or the rot or the insects that you buy the pressure treat to avoid. So you have to apply this special sealer to kind of re-seal and protect those exposed areas. Now to attach our joist boards to the deck base, we use something called joist hangers. They look like little metal U-shapes. Now just like the Tuff blocks that we use, using these hangers are so great because they distribute the load of the deck more evenly. They help prevent sagging, they help your boards from twisting over time or just general failure over time, because it happens, especially under heavy weight. And honestly, most decks that do collapse are because the joists weren't properly supported. So these bad boys are approved hardware that make your structure safer and more reliable. Huzzah! Now, did anyone think they were showing up to this video to learn so much about how to build a deck? We are all leaving today feeling like a true expert, my friends. You're welcome. So on both ends, we added a double joist which sat on a double joist hanger. Why did we do this? Well, if you ask my husband, it's because I chose to complicate the design. But if you ask me, it's because I decided that the deck would look amazing if it had a picture frame trim around the exterior. But in adding this, we needed to add an extra joist so that the deck boards that run across the top have a place to be secured into, because my picture frame covered the front joist. So you'll see what I mean later when we get there.
I don't know if I can get out. It's pretty comfortable, I'm not gonna lie.
We were getting so close to finishing, but my gosh, that heat was so killer. But eventually we got back to it when we added the cross supports down the middle just to act as a spine to kind of keep the joist from bowing. And this didn't take long, but it surely felt like it did in that heat. Now, the universe does give back in weird ways sometimes, because not even 5 minutes after finishing, we got a downpour of sweet, blissful rain.
I can't believe we finished right when it started raining.
Yeah.
Well, we asked for rain all day and we definitely got it, and now it's sunny again. Very strange. It was like it just needed to break the heat, and now it's sunny again. And now everything's wet, but it looks great. We got the base done. Now tomorrow I can start on the top, and then we got a whole deck. Good job, everybody! Woo! Go team! It's a good day. It's a good day! funny, friends. We brought the tent over top of this so we get to work in the shade today. Not really sure why we didn't do that yesterday, but yay, being smart takes time, you know? I'm really excited that my husband was able to come yesterday and help us with the hardest part. I don't think my body weight would have been able to break the ground. So having him here for that was just so kind. So thank you, my love, for coming. So today, the first thing I want to do is start cutting all the pieces that are going to create the apron. Sorry, I keep calling it an apron. It's not an apron. It's a picture frame. I really wanted it to look nice and neat around the exterior of the deck. So I want to create what basically looks like a little picture frame with 45s on the corner around it, and then we're going to build in the deck inside it. I just think this looks a little bit neater. It looks a little bit more professional, and that's what we're going for. Let's go finish this deck. Woohoo!
So I'm aware I may just enjoy making my life more difficult by consistently needing to try new things instead of just doing what you know, but I think of it as leveling up. You know, I'm gaining my life experience points like in a video game, which makes me a better DIYer, right? I mean, this isn't crazy outside the box as an idea. We're just cutting 45-degree angles, but I've never done it on a deck, so it's still a first, and there is possibility for error, but you know what? I can live with that.
Okay, so we got a picture frame. Do you guys see what I mean now by like creating a little frame that sits around it? So now all I have to do is just measure and cut my boards. But you can see why we did this double joist here, because now I have a place to put my boards and screw them into. Not too shabby, eh? Not too shabby at all. I just think it creates a really nice, picture perfect deck. You know what I mean? I think it looks good. It is a hot, stinking day today, but we're gonna get her done. Slow and steady, friends. Let's do this.
Speaking of doing, let's talk about what we didn't do, which was putting down landscape fabric before we started this deck. So we forgot, but we definitely had time to mend the situation because this deck is raised, so fitting the fabric underneath was a no problem kind of situation. Now doing this is just making sure that any weeds that somehow defy the darkness still don't try to grow up through the deck. We don't want that. Plus adding this landscape fabric makes it a drier space, meaning fewer bugs and animals want to make a cozy home under your deck. Shoo! Now that we are caught up in the forgotten steps, I could finally get started on cutting all the deck boards and placing them on top.
The deck looks pretty darn good to me. Nothing strapped in yet. Strapped in, screwed in, screwed in. I want to wait because I don't know if you guys noticed, and you probably might have been questioning it. What are we gonna do about these feet that are currently sticking out? A lot of discussions that Vanessa and I had were, do we care that they're showing? Vanessa didn't. She's like, I don't care. I did. I don't know. I just thought like it's just not very nice to look at when I think that we can actually solve this problem with a very simple step. No, literally a step. We're gonna build a mini step.
Honestly, I think I might be the only one that laughs at my jokes. But we're building a step, friends, and although I could have left it because we are going renter friendly, it was meant to be floating. I just couldn't let it be. You know, if we are going to work this hard to make this deck special, why wouldn't I want to go a little bit extra to make it the best it can be? So we just gotta step it up. No, I wasn't nearly as picky about removing out grass on my step. I simply was just measuring and marking level on the side of the deck, measured the length of the ground from the line, and cut the upper accordingly. Now, I'm not totally crazy. I wasn't building a step for all 4 sides, just the 2 sides that would be visible, so it wasn't that bad, right? So I didn't really like the idea of the stair supports to be showing, so I tried cutting a piece of lattice to stick on the front, and I thought it would look okay, but I did make an error here, which we're gonna talk about in the near future. Ooh, foreshadowing drama. Okay, stay with me, all right? Okay, friends. I'm not sure I've ever looked so gross on camera in my life. So a really dark cloud like suddenly rolled in, and under like 20 seconds it felt like, and it just started pouring rain, and now it's thunder and lightning. That was actually horrendous and not relieving at all to be in the rain after all that heat. Woof, that was terrifying. I will say though, I am pretty disappointed in myself, and I'll tell you why. I just didn't think about it ahead of time. So we were building the step, and the lattice was meant to just kind of hide the underneath. What I failed to do was remove a 1/2 inch from those pieces so that the lattice can sit in underneath the step. So we did do that on the far side, which is great. That'll look hunky-dory and it'll look beautiful, but unfortunately on the front side, I just had gone too far and screwed in too many things that I didn't want to undo it. So sadly, we're just gonna have to go with the lattice sitting in the front.
Womp womp.
All right, we're gonna pack up this stuff before a real big storm rolls in, and tomorrow we're gonna screw in the boards and then add some decorative elements before the end of this week. See you tomorrow, friends. Good morning, friends. I just realized I did a whole intro and the audio wasn't on. I don't know where I got an Australian accent today. It is stinking hot out today, and my hair is out to here.
The sensational hairdressing that's sweeping the country.
It's a good thing we're not here for beauty. But you know what we do have? We sure do have a nice deck here. Get your mind out of the gutter, I said it's a deck. Hey Vanessa, what do you think of the deck I bought for you?
That's a nice deck.
It is a nice deck, isn't it?
It's quite big.
It's very large, really made out of good wood.
Good wood for a nice deck.
And this is how you get demonetized. So this morning while I was getting ready, I was watching K-pop Demon Hunters, and I have to say, what a freaking great movie. Very much enjoyed it. Has anyone seen it out there? I'd love to know your comments about it, because I loved it. That soundtrack is living in my brain rent-free for like the rest of the summer, and I'm obsessed. Big fan. Big fan. What are you doing? Are you the prettiest girl in the world? Are you the prettiest girl in the world? Oh, you are. It's gonna be a good day. Okay, let's start decking. Let's get this tent up. Oh God, it's gonna be hot. The lattice will be the lastest thing we do. At this point, we've built a whole deck, but this tent might be my villain origin story. It's always such a thing to put it up, but honestly, I guess I can't complain. It literally stops my pasty skin from burning alive. You know, I'm not like a twinkle vampire kind of vampire, friends. I am definitely a Vampire Diaries kind of vampire. I will set on fire in the sun. It was a little dramatic, but let's move on from that. Why is everything got to be so hard? So, we got stick. We're just gonna pop that in there. So you want to put it on top of the board. To screw this deck in, we were using a 1/8 inch spacer, aka paint sticks, in between the boards, which honestly this worked great. Also, I would just like to highlight how proud I am of our girl Vanessa, who is out there screwing all these boards with me. Jesus. She has literally touched a drill like 3 times in her life, and yes, she did struggle.
Is this going the wrong way? What is wrong with it?
But she kept a great attitude and an open mind to learn, and I understand the struggle of a tricky drill, but you just gotta keep doing it over and over, and one day it just gets easier. But sometimes a good attitude is all you need when taking on a DIY project.
See how smooth that one was?
Yep.
I'm learning, Mom.
Now we got about 3/4 of the way through when we realized we had to backtrack on some boards to fix some of the spacing. I don't know what happened, but it sucked, and we did have to redo a lot of work. But we did get her done, because we always do, and the deck was finally finished.
I'm never building a deck again. Let it be known.
I'm having a great time.
I'm glad. My goodness, it is a blustery day today. I'm pretty sure it's almost taken this tent like 3 times, but this is looking good. Yeah, I need to start working on the lattice that's gonna sit under the step. At least on this side, there's a 1/2 inch gap, so it's gonna fit nicely under the step. On the front, it's not gonna look nearly as nice, but I think it is what it is. It's gonna be a great little deck. Great little platform once it's done though. I don't know what we would have done without this. Hold on to the masses! I don't know what they actually say when they're trying to get, like, be in boats. Woo! Let's put some lattice on.
So I know we can't see my face fully here, but I'm literally having an internal crisis in this moment because having that 1/4 of an inch lattice kicked out and not tucked underneath, it just looked so bad. Oh my gosh, friends, it was so bad.
I just pulled all that lattice off. I'm really bummed at myself that I didn't think of this when I was making it. Like, I'm so bummed that I'm actually willing to undo all of that just to cut them down so that the lattice can fit underneath. It's just like, what is the point of doing all of this if you're just not gonna do it right? That's always my like way of thinking. I don't see any way around this, because like even if I get a board or anything to put in front of it, it's going to look bad. And I know that maybe this is just like me being like over perfectionist, but I'm feeling bummed. I'm tired and I just want to do this right, but it's really hard to make these decisions. It's hard to go back when we've gone so far. I think I'm gonna do it though. I'll be right back.
1 hour later.
Oh, I fixed it and now it's better. Was that fun? No. But will I sleep better tonight? Heck yeah, buddy. Heck yeah.
So we started cutting the new lattice, and I'm just gonna come out and say it, lattice isn't really a great thing to cut. It's held together with very small staples in very precarious places, and where we needed to cut it down meant that this lattice was now only being structurally supported by 1 staple and just general denial. So it did keep falling apart, and I didn't have my personal staple gun to fix it, so yeah, it was just feeling like a lost cause at the end of an already very long day.
Well,
I think we just do 5 inches across and dig the ground up.
or like, do they sell plastic lattice?
I'm sure, yeah.
So Vanessa and I did brainstorm on the deck for a little while, and we took 1 trip to the hardware store and we were back with the solution.
Okay, we just went to Home Depot. We got our solution. We found PVC black lattice. We decided to go with black instead of the brown because I felt like it would, well, I think Vanessa and I both agreed it felt like it would be more decorative and like maybe intentional. And I think it's gonna be nice because you just wait. We have some details coming in that I think all of this is gonna pull together really nicely, but luckily now it's PVC, so it's not gonna snap on us, and this should go hopefully quickly. I mean, frig, knock on wood. And PVC at this point. Everything's gonna be great. This is gonna come together nice and quickly. It's gonna be great. We'll make it happen.
And happen it did. This black PVC lattice was pretty darn great. It was the perfect product to do what we needed, and I had no idea that this product existed. And you can get it in white, brown, and black. I mean, go figure. So we cut the lattice to size using a circular saw, secured it to the underside of the stair using a brad nail, and the whole thing was just easy peasy for once.
In another life, what job do you think you'd be doing?
Some witch told me that I was a man in all my past lives except this one, so.
That tracks.
Yeah, right? It's working! It's working!
Honestly, long DIY days can start to feel like you've been building for a millennia. But sometimes you just gotta laugh and have fun. We're building a deck here, folks, and we're having a good time.
That was a very intense day of labor. It was a good day though. Honestly, I'm so glad that we prevailed through this trellis because I think it looks great, and I'm so glad that we went with the black because I think it just adds this really nice kind of modern feeling vibe to it. This feels really good. I'm proud of the work that we accomplished today. I'll see you guys tomorrow, showered and less muddy. Woohoo! Okay. Good morning, friends. Final day of the deck makeover. Well, part one, because we are gonna be bringing the deck together next week. We have a whole bunch of DIYs coming, but I did wanna just finish one thing this week, which was getting the lighting set up. I wanna bring the ambiance that you guys were looking for. And then after we have that, we can bring in everything to really bring the scene together. I got some fun DIYs and everything, so I think it's gonna be great. But I ordered these, and I have to say, I ordered these, they were like $28 on Amazon, and I have versions of these at home in my garden, and I wish I had these. These are so well built, and even better, it comes with a base. For 28 bucks, you get an entire base, and it sits, and you can adjust the height. These are so great.
Comes with the hardware too.
Mine suck. Like, I want to change mine out. I'm gonna change mine out. But apparently these will go up to 8 feet, so pretty excited about that. So I think we're gonna set it up, and we'll get some lighting in here, and then
Bob's your uncle.
Bob's your uncle, Susie's your aunt, Cusco is your cousin. Oh my gosh, I miss having the tent up already. This is so hard. I was built for the shadows. Also, why I chose to wear pants today, beyond me. Do you guys think I look more tan this week, now having been in the sun for 3 days?
What?
Oh, definitely. Maybe.
I think my only suggestion on how to make these better would have been if they had like those little clips where they connect, because like it is a bit floppy.
That can't be it. There must be, are you sure it's not like a twist thing?
Oh, maybe it is a twist.
Okay.
That was some smart thinking. Oh, now it's like a staff. You shall not pass.
I actually went to baton class as a kid.
Of course you did.
Yeah. Because I'm picture of athleticism.
Anywho, all I can say is surround yourself with people who bring out the best in your personality.
It's like, did I just create a moose mating call?
Yeah, I'm not gonna touch that one. We did eventually get back on track, and I got 2 light posts secured to the right side of the deck. Actually, I want to pull up my handy-dandy Milanote board here because I drew a few different lighting layouts and patterns using Milanote. Just simple sketches, but what's really fun is that I was literally able to sketch these up using the sketch tool in Milanote to create these, like no special extra application needed. What I did was just brought in a photo of the deck, and then I was able to sketch right on top of it. So I played with having posts on all 4 corners to kind of create like a box look. I also did a zigzag pattern, which I ended up redoing here in a second. That is clearly not a zigzag, Danie. And I also did a triangle pattern. Looking at these inspiration sketches, Vanessa and I had originally decided to go with the triangle pattern, so I actually only bought 3 posts that day, but once I added the 3rd, I just knew we needed to go with 4 corners based on how that deck was oriented in the backyard. So we did order another light pole with ease, may I add, because the product was conveniently linked in the Milanote project board that I pulled up using the mobile app. So we added this off camera, but I think the lighting really brought this space together. And just like that, we went from a tired and sad looking backyard to having this amazing 10 by 12 floating deck, complete with a step and dazzling lights on top to bring that backyard whimsy. I am so proud of us for building this, and I think it looks awesome. I can't wait to bring this space together with all the amazing backyard pieces and DIY projects we got planned. So stay tuned and make sure you come back next week for part 2. Also sending a special thank you again to the sponsor of today's episode, Milanote. If you're starting a new project, or maybe you're an interior designer or a filmmaker or just a big DIY dreamer like me, use the board because it is going to change your life. There's a link in my description box. It's free to use with no time limit, so check it out. But with that said, I'm gonna go eat a popsicle on this deck that we spent our week building and enjoy this time before we get back at it. So I'll see you guys later. Have a great weekend or great week, whatever you're watching this. And stay positive, stay creative, and keep on DIYing. Bye-bye. I don't know if I'm gonna build a deck again.
It's fair.